All right, take two. You ready? And action.
Matt,
Yo,
so
Robert.
good to have you here.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So listen, you're a very beloved figure in the context of the work that I do in Foley. You are the voice of the Henderson Silver Knights, right? So you're part of a team, and you're the voice essentially of the team that is considered by Golden Matrix Awards to be the best across all minor league sports.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just AHL, but no, across all money. One of the voices. I mean, you've got your
Right.
the Bojos and the Jens and the JBs of the world too.
Yes,
help
of
us.
course.
We all come together. But yeah, I just happened to be on the PA. I love doing it.
How does that feel, man? How does that feel?
It's it really hit me when he said all of minor league sports.
Yeah.
I mean, even the AHL is great too because we have a great team. Because you guys too, it's got shots. You bring the crowd in with your shots. We do stuff with our voice or on camera stuff with the Bojos, Jens, and JBs of the world. But then you guys bring the shots together. The video brings it up at the right times. DJ brings in the sound. We all come together to work, and I feel very blessed to work with the team that I work with because we're one of the best in the world at what we do.
Yeah, I got to say the Silver Knights fans, those are hardcore fans, man.
They love
that
until you
team.
see them. Before the game, when they're waiting at the door, after the game, when they want autographs of AHL players.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a minor league team that you would go to in suburbia somewhere in New York, upstate New York, and you'll see a minor league baseball team. They are fans. And so they're fans of hockey. And I understand almost half of them, and don't quote me on this, almost half of them go to the VGK games too.
I would say so.
Man.
Yeah, probably. It also, like, listen, if you're from Henderson, born and raised, that's your team.
That is your team.
Henderson Silver Knights.
Yeah. I mean, people dig it. My brother, for the auditions, he goes, hey, you got to try out for this audition. I'm like, we got a kid on the way, or brand new kid. Start making, I'm like, what? Just have some fun. What can you, what can you lose? And I'm learning that there's a lot of people, even the transplants still that are here are feeling a part of Henderson. That's their home now. This is where their abode. So they have something to go to that's relevant, that's close, little less cost than going to the big dogs of the VGK.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Two things. Firstly, do you sing?
I am the worst singer in the world.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That's interesting. I'm surprised to hear that. I was expecting you to be like, oh hell yeah, man, I'll belt out something right now.
Oh, I'm terrible. My wife says that I could be a good singer with training.
Okay.
I appreciate that, but I've tried in karaoke. Terrible.
So my follow up to that was, despite you feel, I mean, I'm sure you're better than you think you are, but you feel you're not a great singer. Do you have a go-to song when you go to karaoke, though?
Oh yeah, it's Bojo has the same one, so I never go to it when he's doing it. It's okay. It's Backstreet Boys. I want it that way.
Okay. Good choice.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now I would feel like you would do that if Bojo's doing it because it's a boy band. It's it's like it's 5 parts.
I would love to hang out with them and do that. It was the very first. I don't know if you were here yet. It was a VGK rap party, and they invited. There were only 3 people that were not really affiliated yet with VGK because everyone's pretty much the same in the mix, camera, audio, video. And Bojo went up there and sang. I was getting my guts together, and then he picked the song. I was like, I can't do that. But no, if now that we're hanging and we do stuff, heck yeah, Bojo, if you're watching this, I'm doing that with you sometime.
Yeah, bust out 5 mics and cry, maybe some crier karaoke.
Tell me why. Yeah.
Absolutely, okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So, all right. So speaking of Hispanic Heritage Night.
Yes.
You speak Spanish.
I went to school for it. If you don't use it, you lose it. But I mean, we would go to Mexico. I went, for our honeymoon. Went to Cancun. We've been to Cabo about a week. Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty fluent. Yeah,
that's great, man. So you went to school. So you're self-taught-ish. I mean, you took some classes. You took some schooling on it. How serious was this schooling that you took on it? Like how long?
It was easy for me because I grew up in a Mexican neighborhood.
Okay.
Latino neighborhood. The grammar school I went to, the elementary school in San Jose, California, was mainly Mexican. And so I learned the culture, piñatas, mariachis, everything. Yeah. So it just came natural. So the first class I took in 7th grade was Spanish. You know, me llamo Mateo. Oh, that was easy to say.
Okay, all
and
right.
I just felt, and then my friends, we'd work together. I'd learn the grammar. They would tell me how to say it. We would work together as a little combo team. It just came easy. And then when it came time to go to college and play baseball, they said, oh, you have the best grades in Spanish. You're going to be a Spanish major. Okay.
I mean, listen, so you were a Spanish major.
For a while. And then it
Okay.
got to a point where it was too much. And the counselor said, yo, we got to find something else for you, because I was struggling after a while.
Okay. I mean, I can, you can hear it though. I've heard you on, I don't know if it was Hispanic Heritage Night last year, whichever night it was, but I mean, when you're speaking Spanish over the loudspeaker, it's like, sounds legit. Like
thanks.
completely legit. Yeah.
When you're around the culture and you're immersed in the culture, you pick it up and it's ingrained in you. So it'll always be in my soul.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So, all right, not that this makes you an authority on this, and I'm not saying that I think this, but just
boy.
because I'm curious, what is your favorite Mexican spot here in the city to go eat at?
we just went to a fun one last night, which is Tequila Cantina. It's right across the street from our hood over there, the Lee's Family
Over
Forum.
Green Valley
Yeah,
area?
it's right in the Green Valley area. It's the atmosphere was cool. So it's
Okay.
like a happy hour place. But Mexican food wise, you got to go north. You know, we've been a couple of places. Carolinas is one of them. But we're still on the hunt for that perfect tamale. My wife's very picky. I'm okay with many tamales, but I'm starting to get picky with her. You go northeast in Vegas, you're going to find some good stuff out there.
It's funny, man. Isn't it that way? I mean, especially like I grew up in the suburbs, you know, so it's like food was not, you know, it was just like you just ate whatever. And then, you know, so I didn't give a shit, especially when I moved here. And then
Right.
the more, you know, you go to better and better places, the more you're like, oh, I'm not going to that place anymore. I'm going, you know, like this is the spot.
And it's still like when we get older too. It's like the alcohol. We didn't care if it was Keystone Light. Now it's like get a little pick. You know, is what's going to give you the worst hangover? No, but we're getting older, so we get to pick our stuff. Get a little more picky with stuff. And I'm starting to get that way with Mexican food too. Because in the beginning, she's like, let's go have some tamales. These are great. Wife would say, it's not good. What are you talking about? Oh, the masas, this and that. Like, they grew up with it, so they know good food. They have their grandmas cooking for them, and so I learned to make tamales with the fam. I got immersed into the tamale making.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of, you're absolutely right regarding. I mean, when I started drinking, I was drinking like, you know, St. Ides. You know what I mean? Cold 45s.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never touched
Colt
that.
45.
Man, yeah. I mean, that's the only thing. You know, well, that's the only thing we were able to buy underage from the
I don't know what you're
particular
talking
gas
about at
station.
all.
You know. So yeah, man. But yeah, it is. I think it does have to do with age too, for sure. So, do you have a favorite name to say when you are announcing players, or do you have a favorite?
Yeah, it's the newest. Well, it comes when the players occasionally change out. Now it's
Yeah.
Dyson Mayo because
Okay.
Mayo.
Yeah.
Just have fun with the name. Before it was Spencer Foo. Just something that I could play out in the crowd and see if I get a callback.
Yeah.
It's like DJ. I DJ'd for 30 plus years, and it's fun when you get a callback from the crowd. You being from
Absolutely.
New York, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. You know,
yeah.
you get the callback. Oh, so you want that kind of experience. It's tough to create it, but you know, being with Tyler Ferraro, Chandler Blanchard, and Bruce Cusick, you know, the voice of VGK.
Yeah.
We work together, and they help me understand it too and learn it. So you don't just punch it out to them. You throw it out a little bit, and you see what kind of response you can get back.
Yeah, this is something that I talk about a lot with the other camera ops too, is that we, you know, once you are in an environment with other people that are in the game and have the experience, it's good to, you know, like take on, you know, be able to give some, you know, give something that people can take from you and vice versa, to, you know, like learning from each other and being around other professionals that are good at what they do. It's like it ups your game like crazy.
Exactly. I love it. That's why I'm always asking Bruce. My wife actually helps me. She used to be a singer, and so she helps me with the vocals and what to do too. So I go to people, I ask people all the time, not how I'm doing, because it's subjective too. I just want to know what I can improve on. I just want to know right away, because I don't want people to keep, oh, you do good, you know, just to say you do good. I want that. What I can improve on constantly. So whether it's reading and I'll hear myself and say, oh, you could do a little bit better. So I like once in a while I like to go to VGK to listen to Bruce.
Yeah.
I love going, Chet for Aces. Love to
Yeah.
hear all the PA guys read,
Another
talk.
beast, Chet, for sure.
Yeah, another beast in the industry, and
Yeah.
he's been blessed in this market for 35 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing a great job of what he's done. Radio, hockey now he's got Aces. He's very, very active.
Yeah.
I respect the heck out of him. So I love listening to those guys if they're on TV or live.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Is that so? Yeah. So here's the thing about PA, VOG. There's not a whole lot of those job openings, right? I mean, there's maybe, maybe there's 3 in the city, or maybe 4 of those, in per city. So would you say that makes it a competitive, like difficult market to find a space in, or?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Just because, one of my counterparts too, he's with the Desert Dogs, and he's having a tough time finding other work right now.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of teams yet. I mean, they're coming. Got
Right.
NBA, we got MLB, but it's And I kind of step back sometimes and have to remind myself, hey, you're one of the very few that have a decent crowd.
Hell yeah,
And I'm fairly new, so I feel really blessed to be in that position. Timing is everything. Relationships, job, everything we do. Timing's everything, and that's someone may come in, move here from California, like everybody else is moving to Vegas from California, and at the right time with NBA or the Major League Baseball's coming in.
Yeah.
Which I'd love to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the A's. I wonder how that's going to all play out. I'm very curious. I mean, we got some time though. That stadium's going to take probably for like at least 3
years at 28.
3.
It's going to open in 28.
Oh yeah? Okay. There's already a date. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're breaking ground next year and go over. They already imploded a couple weeks ago. They imploded Trout.
That's one thing that's nice. All right. You know what pisses me off? Yay. All right. We could build a baseball stadium in 3 years, but there's a 7-Eleven on my corner that's been done. It's been finished for like a year, and they haven't opened it. I'm like, listen, I need this quality of life. I need to just be able to drive right to the corner, and get a protein bar or a cup of coffee or something,
They're teasing you.
They're teasing me, man.
They're going to put LEDs in there. They're just going to make, they was probably going to make it the Vegas 7-Eleven. Like they have the Vegas Taco Bell over, they have the Vegas with all the sparklies around. They have the Vegas Starbucks.
Yeah, the cantina, Taco Bell cantina.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can get married in there.
You cannot.
That? Yeah, you can get married at the cantina.
I had no idea. That's so sick.
Yeah, man.
That's sick.
So you've been DJing for 30 years? Is that true? I didn't
Oh my
know
God.
that.
Yeah. Let me over 35.
In the town or
When I got here, I was with a group that was I was going to be at like a Pizza Rock starting, because DJing here is like acting in LA. There's everywhere here.
Oh yeah.
DJs. And now it's easier to DJ with the controllers and everything that you have. So then I kind of said, do I want to, DJ at clubs till 4 a.m. with the daughter and a wife and come home and then I go do my regular
tough.
job. Yeah, I mean, there are DJs, don't get me wrong, there are DJs that are getting paid. I would definitely do that if it was the money was right. But dime a dozen, just like acting. I mean, the A-list actors are, 1%. The rest are scrounging around for jobs that they can. And I've done it enough. It's in my soul, but it's not ingrained right at this time.
I hear you, man. I mean, you're talking to somebody coming out of I came out of a 10-year audio career to in Vegas and switch to video. And that was one of the things. It's like, I love it. And it's something that it's not, the nice thing is that when you've done it for long enough, it's something that will never go away. You'll have it forever. But it's like, if you're not burning to do it and, you're not dying to go do it, then especially something like DJing where it can be difficult, long hours, maybe you're outside in the summer DJing a pool. Maybe you're DJing, it's not all the headline marquee DJ spots. Some of it is tough. Mm-hmm. Some of the gigs are tough. So, but the nice thing, see, this is the thing about you though, is that you're connected now. So it's like, if you wanted to jump back in there, it's like, maybe some of those spots might be waiting for you there. Something
could be. I mean, my position is I feel very blessed, but it's not the tippity top, but it's there. It's still good.
Yeah.
It's a dime a dozen. Not dime a dozen. There's very, very few. Like Bruce is up at the top of his game. Chet's at the top of his game, and we're the same field as UFC. We got the Buffer. we got a lot of voices out here.
Yeah.
It's cool. DJing, I love it. It'd always be like, I always listen to my DJ tracks on the way over here, mixes and everything.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just love music. It's always been in me. There's always places for music, and I love to just get on the wheels sometimes and make people happy. But I don't know. I haven't. It's from my job to being a dad to this night job stuff. So I had to make some decisions on pulling back.
I hear you, man, and that's it's a good thing. I mean, especially living in Vegas, there's so much opportunity to rage, go out there and just act a fool.
Yeah.
So yeah, after a while, you do have to take the reins of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it can people come out to. This is a very common thing. People don't really realize this. People move out to Vegas, and sometimes the city sweeps them up and takes them away.
Yes, you mean from extracurriculars to gambling to that'll take your life away. And I've seen it, and I've seen it in Reno when I used to go to Reno from San Jose. And gambling's never been part of my system, so can't say that for my in-laws. They love their gambling, they do well. But I love watching people have fun.
Yeah,
gambling.
Man.
I'll go there. I go there for the entertainment.
Right.
I love the entertainment value of all the lounges and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and that is the thing. It's like if you are, I mean, I don't know. Older people, they sit down, they'll do the penny slots, that kind of thing. It's like, all right, I could see that. That's fine. But I think for the most part, if you have gambling problem or gambling, you're prone to that. It's like, this is not the city to live in.
No.
I mean,
call 800 I gamble.
Yeah. 1-800-GAMBLER. I think that is actually the number.
Gambler?
The 1-800-GAMBLER, or what is I've seen the ad several times.
It's PSA for
people. Get help. Get help.
Now.
Don't gamble away your child's college fund.
That's
Get
right.
help. Okay, so does it say voice of God on your resume?
God, no. I don't like saying that. There's only one God.
Yeah.
No, I when they say VOG, I always, what does VOG mean? Voice of God. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, just on my resume, public address announcer, PA announcer.
PA. So, all right. Well, let's finish that line of thought. So, as far as PA, is there a team that you would just like, that would be like a dream team to do PA for? And is there a particular game? I don't know how much of a sports buff you are, but is there a particular game you would have loved to do the announcement for?
Ooh, that's a tough one. My team's the Giants. My dream PA would be the NBA of the Las Vegas NBA team.
Yeah.
Dream game would probably be somewhere where Magic and Bird were going at it back in the day. Because that was amazing basketball.
Yeah.
So I love basketball. I just love because you're right in the mix of the crowd.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love hockey. It's fun. It's definitely fun. But basketball, you're constantly saying stuff. Hockey, you wait, then there's a penalty.
Yeah.
So you got to be on. And I've learned the hard way.
That's true, man. Hockey's very precise, huh? Like you can't be fucking off in your phone and then
no.
Like, it's just super precise, huh?
There are times. I mean, you could tell. I'll text my dad or brother who always watch the game when I'm announcing.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So we have a little thing.
Yeah.
But if there's something to score, all hands on deck. So I'm listening for the off ice officials to give us the cue, listening for Chandler, our game show caller, to give us a cue.
Yeah.
I write them down and make sure I have a little system that I write down, who scored the goal, assists, make sure I have all that ready to go, make sure the names are correct.
Yeah.
Those Czechoslovakian, Russian, names, Canadian names up there, French Canadian names, and then just fire away. Yeah. You develop a system over time. Bruce definitely helped me with the system and the cadence, and Chandler and Ferraro helped me with the cadence of everything as well. So there's a certain cadence you want to get in enough time to get it so it doesn't bore people.
Yeah.
Mine's a little different than Bruce's because Bruce just says the whole thing, lets it loose with who's scoring for VGK. The show is actually the Town Crier show.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of behind Town Crier on that. So
yeah.
He's the main guy who, goals scored by, and then I go after him. So I have to kind of say it as quickly as possible.
All right, listen, I got to say this. This is. I think VGK needs a Town Crier. Like the town crier is like one of my favorite parts of HSK. Like he just himself. Harold is his name, right?
Harold the Town Crier.
Harold the Town Crier. That's not his real name.
No,
That's
no.
the character name. I forget his real name. I wish
Darren Patura.
Okay, all right. Darren. I wonder if I'm even allowed to do that. Maybe we'll just.
No,
stick
that's
with
fine
Harold.
because we tag him and everything. So Darren,
Okay, all right.
Darren, he's the man. He's fun.
Okay, Darren. Darren is so good. I mean, his acting is great. He plays the character so well, and I mean, it's great, man. Like it's great to have that face, like that character with a face out there connecting with the crowd. It's like, yeah, man. I feel like VGK is missing something like that. You know, you have the Golden Knight.
You have the Golden Knight.
But I mean, he only really talks during the nightclub. He goes out there and fights
He does the battle
do
at
the
the beginning, yeah,
which is awesome. Don't get me. I mean, obviously, everyone thinks that's awesome. It's also the best rated home production at least in the NHL is concerned. But yeah, we gotta get a town crier over there, man.
You know, it was weird for crowds to adapt to that. So VGK family took a risk.
Yeah.
They took a huge risk because
Really?
hockey is so structured.
Yeah.
They're very structured. Even COVID, they were very particular rules. Even the team doctor, I go to the team doctor, I was going for my knee.
Yeah.
He was saying how strict it was that they were from their hotel room off to the ice, or to the bus, to the ice, bus back to the hotel room. And that was it. They could not come out. They're serious. They're very serious in the NHL. Hockey fans are that's how they know stuff.
Yeah.
Town crier, goofy actor, doing the funny stuff. They took a huge risk, but that's how you make it. That's how you excel. That's how you separate yourself from others, is by stepping out of the box and taking risks. And they took a huge risk because hockey fans are not used to that. And I remember in the beginning, Mark, forgot his last name. He was the first town crier, and actually Darren's his friend in the acting business. So Mark had more work on the strip or something, and Darren came in, and Darren had to get into that role too because Mark started off really well, I think a couple of years, and then the last 4 years have been Darren. Huge risk, and the light is on them. Yeah. What are they going to think of you? How are they going to do it? But those guys being actors, they did what they did, and they just did it 100%. They didn't know anything else other than to do that 100%, and they did it very well.
You know, I just read something that says, something on the internet that said, if you give it 100% every time, no matter what, even if you feel like you can't or you don't have it in you, if you always give 100%, then you will outperform 99% of people around you in your field or whatever it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, right?
And it's grit, and it's true in baseball, in any sport, hockey. You do 100%. You continuously do it 100%. You're going to pass the others because most people do not have 100% of the time.
Yeah,
that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Very hard to do.
I totally agree. So here's something that always impresses me about whether it's PA or commentary, the way that the stats, like stats get to you guys so fast. Like if a record is broken or something happens, it's like it gets to you so quickly. But the other thing is, you rarely, if ever, will mispronounce a name. Yeah. How do we make sure? Do you practice it? Is it like laid out phonetically in front of you? Like how is this so 100% like on all the time?
Just taking pride in what you do, knowing that if it was my name being pronounced, I would like it pronounced correctly.
Yeah,
I have mispronounced a few names, and I've been informed. Oh, it's instead of is it Daniil Cheka, it's Daniel. It looks like Daniil, but the other Russian, whatever, is the same spelling, 2 I's. And I felt bad. YouTube is the main, but I listen to 3 different broadcasters because one may sit in a pocket of saying that name. But I listen to 3 just to make sure. And the last line is Brian McCormick for our radio broadcast. He's the ultimate. He's our head of broadcasting, head of communications. So that's the front line kind of, if you want to really, if I text them or, hey, how do we pronounce this name?
Yeah.
So and phonetically, we'll sometimes have a game sheet that will say the names phonetically.
Yeah.
Like when I did the NBA Summer League, I had an opportunity this year. It was my first year doing the Summer League.
Yeah.
All the names they had the sheets out with phonetics on them. All the players.
Okay.
Because because the NBA, some of them now are coming from Africa, and there's some cool names.
Yeah.
You're like, how the heck do you pronounce these things?
Yeah. Well, what was our boy on G League from the African League? He was the man too. Damn, I forgot his name.
Which was
Sane, right? Sane, Babacar Sane.
Babacar Sane, yeah.
Yeah,
Babacar
yeah.
Sane.
That was my dude, bro.
He's a big
oh my
boy.
God, he was the man.
Big boy.
He was. I mean, he was just like, he just came with the energy every game. Like he never. So I have a fruit fly issue in my house right now that we're working. Someone fucking bought bananas in this house, and so there is the occasional fruit fly, and it drives me and it gets me blood red mad and super pissed. And if you watched the last episode of the podcast, then you already know that.
There's fruit flies everywhere. We had a fruit fly pandemic.
We don't
way
even
back when.
This is the thing. There's maybe like 2 or 3 of them at a time, but they want to be around whatever I'm doing.
Dude, we had it. I tell you, it was a pandemic when we were 12, 13, 14 years old, and they had helicopters fly over and they were spraying this orange crap. You had to go inside your house.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a fruit fly pandemic. So they were, when you go up 15
This is in Nevada?
This is in Northern California.
Oh, Northern California.
Yeah, so they were checking all the fruits coming in, going out. It was crazy. Yeah, check it out.
Dude, that's wild. Never heard of that in my life.
Yeah.
So funny story though, was not fruit flies, but I mean tiny flies about the same size as them. My parents were visiting. My parents and my aunt and uncle were visiting a couple of weeks ago. We drove up to Mount Charleston, and as we're driving up, we're driving to there's that lookout where you could see out into the Atomic Valley, and we're driving through, and I'm like, it's clear skies, but it looks like I'm driving through some like flurries of snow. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like it's not snowing, but it looks like snow. I'm like, what is this dust? So we pull up to the outlook. We get out of the car, and we're in a cloud, just a cloud of these little flies. Never seen that before. Have no idea what they were. They didn't bite. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of hanging out. But it's like you couldn't walk. You couldn't be out. You couldn't get out of the car. Like it was that serious.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then as we're driving, we just get out of the car for a couple seconds. They look. We realize how serious it is. We get back in the car and then we're driving. I mean, it's like. It's just like, I mean, it's like driving through a storm of them.
How weird.
Right?
The Charleston swarm. Okay, we got
Dude, what is that? I mean, I probably should have just Googled it and I would have known what it was, but yeah, so that was a little different. Anyway, so I would say, as far as HSK is concerned, you get along really well with everyone, man. And I'd say everybody likes to work with you. What do you think about what is the quality about you that makes that the way it is?
Everyone's the same, and I think it was during when I was living in LA, I would see the A-list actors. I knew what I was signing up for when I was an extra, but people thought they were actors when they're extras.
Yeah.
I knew it was extra work. You're there for 12 hours and you got $50. Yes, that's what it was back in early 90s.
It's probably
$50.
still that. It's probably still not that much more.
I knew my
than that.
job. It was cool to be there. I brought a book, brought some snacks, but I noticed a lot of the A-listers just walked by and treated the cameras, the lighting, the grips like crap.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not cool. Everybody's here. They all get dressed the same.
Yeah.
We're all coming together as a team. They're helping you look good in front of the camera.
True.
Right? They'll treat the directors good and the producers good on you. But the people that are this like the foundation to help boost them, the show, the production, whatever it is, the filming, they're being let in the back. They're just being overlooked. And so that was a point where I was like, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, always treat everyone the same, as high respect, and I don't know, they're family. You work with a team. There's no hierarchy.
Yeah.
And that when I started doing sales and going to in Bay Area, I was going to large corporations. I would go to the shipping. I would give those guys tickets to the Warriors. dude. And then sure enough, they're showing me the way to so-and-so.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the intention. It was just treat everyone with respect, because people tend on the top up there, they tend to overlook. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's what I noticed.
Right.
So that was a lesson to me to just family, whether it's the Jenny King cleaners there. I'm always saying hi, talking in Spanish with them. What's going on? See if I can give their family tickets to the game if they want to come. It just means a lot, and they get overlooked. Camera guys, I love you guys are at Craggy Range chilling. I go by and say what's up.
Hell yeah, man.
Just make it a point to say hi to everybody, and it's not to be Mr. Congeniality or anything like that. It's just because it's in my soul. I feel good when I do that. I feel good when I say hi, and there's highs and smiles and hugs back, and that's how we work. We all work together, whether it's on the microphone, on the camera, cooking, the head chefs. As a matter of fact, the old head chef, his daughter is now best friends with my daughter in kindergarten. You never know when the paths are going to cross.
Right, and
again.
if you had been a to someone in that department, it's like now you got to see each other.
Yeah,
you never know, man. And I'll tell you what, no one knows their way around a building or an arena like a grip does, or or a utility. That's for sure. And I mean, look, this silly attachment to of prestige to different jobs. It's like, sure, yeah, maybe there's less opportunity to make it to this spot or that spot. And maybe, this has a more visible piece of the show or whatever it is. But I mean, none of it works without the whole puzzle.
The whole puzzle.
Yeah. You can't just take part of it out and then expect it to work.
No.
So, I mean, in that sense, it's every job is equally as important.
Absolutely. And the conversion team, those guys bust their rumps. They bust their nuts for 10 to 12 hours, converting that thing over from ice to basketball to whatever the show's going to be. It's incredible. Yeah. I'm enthralled from audio to video to cameras to the cooks and the chefs and how everything works. We're all a bunch of busy bees working together to make this production and show for people to entertain them. Yeah. And it's amazing. I guess I also do it because I'm curious to see what everyone else is doing.
I am too. I was just thinking that. Yeah. You see somebody walking around. It's like, I've seen you 5 times. But I don't know what you do. What are you doing? Like you get curious.
Yeah. And everyone has different stages too. And the youngsters, they're in there. They're super youngsters. Like maybe some of them still in college where they're setting up their like the booths for marketing. Yeah. That they're passing out stuff to people. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But they got to start somewhere. Go give them love and ask them what they're doing and what you want to do. And I just talk to them too. Everyone's said, we've been there. We've all been there too at one point or another. If we could offer some advice or just a smile when someone's down, you never know too. That's another thing too. You never know when someone's having a crappy or just a shitty day. Yeah, man. And just a smile and a conversation can help uplift them.
Absolutely. Especially you're in a situation where you are sort of, in a way you could, if you wanted to go off and hide in the corner and kind of stay to yourself, you suppose you could. But for the most part, you when you're there, you're working on a big team, and there's some manner of communication, some manner of social battery is going to be used up. And if you're having a bad week or something, you're going through something tough with family or whatever, it's like, it is nice to walk in and have someone check in on you and just say hello. It's it feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes the world go round, man. You just pay it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that, man. So, do you have a favorite movie?
Wow. I mean, I'm still going back to 80s movies. I'm a Star Wars, not a freak. I love my Star Wars. Love the Caddyshack. Kind of sorry.
We got the
Caddyshack,
Star Wars Night.
Yeah, I know I was sick when that came out. But Star Wars, just because of how at that time there was nothing like it. Yeah, and I mean they tried with 2001: Space Odyssey, not even close. Yeah, and then that came out. I was like, oh my god! And my dad showed me, my brother's younger brother. He showed us what we were going to go see, and I freaked out because it was it was Darth Vader's. Rip to Darth Vader. It was James Earl Jones, one of the true voices in America in the world.
Man. Speaking of voices, right?
This is CNN. He used to do it way back when. The big old helmet and Skywalker was up there with the blade, and I thought it was so scary. I was freaked out. What it was. My dad, I'm the oldest son, and he's like, "Come on, son." But I remember we stayed out there. It was a big deal. We stayed out in the line for 3 hours. People brought chairs. They were playing checkers. It was Centuries in San Jose. 3 hours but it was a whole it was almost like a tailgate party.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I brought my wife to the I want to say it was Skywalker. I can't remember what it was, or it was out here. It was maybe 3 years ago, the Star Wars that came out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to wait in line again. She's like, "You're crazy." So we're sitting there. I brought her along, and I was all jerking out with the Chewbacca's of the world. They're all dressed up. I'm like, this is so sick.
Yeah, man.
I just love it. It was just a time in
little
77.
adventure, right?
It
Why not?
is. It's different. You don't have that too often for movies. I mean, you like
That's
the Harry
for
Potter
sure.
freakazoids will be out there with Harry Potter stuff on.
Right.
It's just cool. It's a culture. I mean, they have conventions for it. They have our theme night. One of our theme nights is the Jedi stuff, and then the band. If you haven't seen that band, that symphony that plays on May the 4th with one of the Star Wars movies, it is sick.
What is all right? So now we got to talk a little bit about this. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? What's your favorite Star Wars movie, and what's your least favorite Star Wars movie? We got to
See, I'm not.
out there.
You put me on blast
Yeah,
right here,
yeah.
and I'm not that much into like a Ferraro. Ferraro could answer this right away.
Yeah.
He's a freakazoid on that.
No, listen. We don't need to total nerd fandom. Just whatever you.
The very first one is my fave, just because it was the one.
Yeah.
It changed the mindset of how movies were made and what you could do with figures and motion and bringing the space here to us in the movies more than I've ever seen. Least favorite, it's probably the number 6. I can't remember what it was. It was called. It was the 6th one. I just remember it was the 6th one.
Attack of the Clones. That's one where the Yoda encounters Count Dooku and he brings the rocks down on.
It was one of the, I think it's 6. If that's one, then I just didn't like this.
Oh right, no, that's 2. That's 2. Okay, so 6. So 4, 5, and 6 are New Hope, Strikes Back, and Jedi. So 6 is Return of the Jedi. So you're probably not talking.
No,
that.
I'm talking about 1, 2, 3. Then
okay, so the prequel. So then you got Phantom Menace, which is Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Then you got Attack of the Clones, which is basically where they go to the planet. Jango Fett and all the clones. And then the third one is Revenge of the Sith, where the lava and
it was
I have the high ground.
It was the number 1. Then I just was expecting
Phantom
more
Menace.
on the prequel.
Yeah.
It was I like the Phantom Menace. That was fine. But I think the prequel I was expecting so much more because Star Wars was that good. The prequel didn't do it for me. The very first one.
I hear you, and that's a pretty popular. That's a pretty common thing. They went from this kind of legend to it turned into like more of a political intrigue thing, sort of discussing laws and trade routes and all that stuff. So I'm with you there. I would say just to toot my own horn here. I would say Strikes Back is my favorite. And I would say my least favorite is probably the last one that they just put out. What was it? Rise of Skywalker or whatever?
Yeah, that's right.
And that was listen, if you like this movie, if you're free to like it, I don't think that anybody that likes it is dumb or is wrong, but I mean for me, I thought that movie was awful. I did not like how they wrapped it all up. Especially with how well I thought they did the first 2 of the new trilogy. I thought the name is escaping me, but episode 7 was good, and I thought episode 8 was good. A lot of people didn't like. A lot of people went one or the other. They liked 8 and didn't like 7, or liked 7 and didn't like 8. I thought they were both fine, but it was 9 for me. That was like, all right, well,
Starting to fade.
Okay, yeah,
Starting to fade. But
Yeah,
I mean, for having that many sequels of movies, prequels, sequels, they did a pretty good job overall with everything.
Yeah,
because
man.
you have a whole culture that's expecting something, and they still rose to the occasion for the most part.
I would say so, yeah. And, this is the thing, too, is a lot of it, I mean, there's so much discussion surrounding this, but a lot of people will say, like, it's changing with what younger people are looking for in terms of entertainment and movies. And so not all of it is going to be for someone from my generation or yours. You know what I mean? Some of it's going to just be, we're not going to totally get everything that they're trying to do or what they're trying to speak to. So I can respect that. I mean, if it's going over my head or if it's just not resonating with me, but it is resonating with other people, then obviously there's something good about it, right?
Right.
I'm totally capable of that.
That you still carry the old schoolers with you on the ride, though, on the journey.
Yeah.
I think they lost me a little bit on that four, but it's actually one.
Right. Yeah.
The first prequel.
Yeah. I hear you.
What was that one called again?
Okay, so the first prequel was Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. I like that one, actually.
Well, no, that was the one you said you didn't like. That was the very first prequel. Phantom Menace has Darth Maul, but it's also like the Gungans and Jar Jar Binks, and like this is baby Anakin with the speeders, speed racing, and then you got Attack of the Clones, which is really the big thing was Count Dooku. They go to this, Obi-Wan goes to this planet, procures the clone army, and then they use it to battle whoever. I forget. I mean, it's so. I haven't watched that one in a while, but you do see Yoda, and you do see Yoda fight for the first time ever in that movie. He busts out his lightsaber, and he and Count Dooku go at it, and then the Revenge of the Sith, of course, is the. I have the high ground. And,
I like that one. Yeah.
That one's pretty. People kind of love that one. I mean, that's a pretty well loved movie, Revenge of the Sith.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's okay, but it has classic moments.
So the first one it was the Phantom Menace is what I said.
That's the very first. Yeah, that's episode 1.
Threw me off. I was expecting way, just a lot more based on everything we saw with the 3.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is where it all started.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't get me.
You and many others. But it's very interesting. The commentary surrounding those movies has gone back and forth, man. Like, for years, people were like, "Oh, these movies are terrible. Just throw them away, forget it." And now, now there's a whole other. There's a whole other community of people who appreciate these movies and are talking about why they're good and what we missed about them that was good, and all that. And I'm like, hey, I'm open to that.
Gotta be.
Whatever. It's like I'm not ready to write something off forever, especially something as big as Star Wars. It's like if there's something to like that people are pointing out, it's like, well, yeah, why not? Why not revisit it? Sure. So anyway, a little Star Wars tangent there. Well, Star Wars Night. Honestly, Star Wars Night, I mean, listen, no disrespect to the Henderson Silver Knights organization, but when I saw Star Wars Night coming up, I'm like, oh, this is just going to be like, whatever. They're going to give away a thing, and it's going to be, maybe there'll be some videos. Dude, Star Wars Night was awesome.
The last one?
Awesome. My family was in town, too. I really regret I could have just bought them tickets to the game, and been like, come to Star Wars Night. Right. But I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be any big deal, dude. How fun was that?
I heard the characters were volunteers. They love doing it.
Yeah,
they go do it for free.
They were so good. We had Mando, we had Chewie and Han, we had Princess Leia, all walking around the arena. The movie that they shot with the town crier and the Silver Knight was awesome. The music was great. All the hype videos were different. Man,
it was sick.
And the merch. I mean, this is my first. this is my first Silver Knights merch.
That's cool.
It was available only on Star Wars.
Oh,
Night.
I didn't even see that. Look at the Star Wars. They got to license that from Star Wars. Oh my god, man. That's cool. On that night too. Mike in audio, because he's always doing, like when I do the call, it's a copy off of Bruce and Jeffrey, who's in audio at VGK, the main audio guy.
Yeah,
he does the power play.
Yeah.
So we brought it over here. So Jeff set it up. Power play. So we do a delay on that.
You need the delay. Yeah,
bit the delay on that. And so Mike does and he goes, "Hey, I could dummy you down too." I go, How about for Darth Vader, dude? Yeah. He goes, let's try it. He goes, so we asked Chandler. He goes, yeah, come in and like an hour earlier, and we play with it. It was sick.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh
I did.
My god, that was so fun. It was. We didn't want to overdo. You only do a little bit like readings here and there, but it was so cool.
Yeah. Don't miss Star Wars night. If this airs before Star Wars night at Henderson Silver Knights, don't miss that.
Yeah.
If this airs after that, don't miss it next year.
Yeah, you gotta see it. It's super fun. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, there's just the characters are everywhere.
Yeah.
All around the arena. The videos are cool. The jerseys, the merch.
Yeah, man.
So if
the
even
jerseys
if
were
you,
sick too.
Yeah, the
hell
jerseys
yeah.
were sick. Even if you don't like Star Wars, it's still really fun theme night.
Yeah.
God, I hope we. I was trying to forgot we had that. I hope we get to do that again because that Darth Vader thing was so cool for us on the audio side.
Yeah. Is there a career nightmare or obstacle that you overcame that you maybe took a lesson from or something the story that you could share?
A career obstacle
Or nightmare. Yeah, like something went really wrong, or like something that was a tough thing to get through, and then
It's. I mean,
unless you're just the golden boy, man.
not
That's
a
possible,
golden boy.
too.
Are you talking about like in what we're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be that.
Well,
it could be a DJ story too, or something
Well,
else.
those are terrible too.
Acting.
There's plenty of those. Yeah, just not taking it seriously or taking it for granted. We get in a pocket sometimes of things. I would take DJing, and this is going to be for both DJing and a sales job in tech sales because I come from the Silicon Valley, and in tech sales you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we did, and we took it. I took it for granted a lot and didn't press the gas pedal more. I just cruised doing the same thing. And we talked earlier about VGK and HSK stepping out of the box to take a risk and take a chance. I needed to do that more.
Yeah.
I do it now for other things now. If they say, hey, let's try this or we want to do this, I have no problem doing that now because I know you're trying something, you give it 100%, it doesn't work, you just reel back and continue on. But keeping myself in a state of complacency and not really pressing the gas pedal and going for more. I don't mean you have to always and you're getting crazy and grinding, but take complacency where I didn't I did take it serious, but I wasn't serious enough. Looking back, it's a lesson for me, meaning could have got more clients. I could have shown up earlier for DJing. I could have handed out more cards. I could have networked more with other people, meaning showing up early. There's a fruit fly. What's up, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Showing up earlier, and so I try sometimes I get in it. We all have those moments where it's tired and you're sitting there, even when announcing, but I have to sit back and go, you know what? You're here for a reason. Do it 100%.
Yeah.
I'm tired as what? Freaking. But you know what? That's not their problem. That's your problem. Get over your problem. Let's go. Yeah. And those kinds of things I needed to do more when I was younger. Well, we learned when we were younger in sales and the jobs that I was doing, and in like DJ world. I wish I could have just pressed the gas pedal. Realized I'm lucky to be there. Don't take it for granted. You're just in a pocket. But what can you do to further? What can you do to up it to another level?
I love that, man. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That's the wisdom now that I wish I would have had then, right?
Yeah.
So we don't get older, we get wiser.
Yeah, man. Don't we all have that? And it's like, sometimes I think about that all the time. Like I do wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, hey, man, don't get, because I used to be very emotional. Like, don't get so upset. Don't take things so personally. Just like, don't put so much pressure on yourself to do well and get so down on yourself when you fail, just like relax. You're going to be fine. You're going to do fine.
Yeah.
Things are going to go great and they're going to go wrong and it's all going to be the same either way, like as long as you're not fucking up your own life, like, and you're trying, you're going to be fine.
That's exactly right. If you give it that 100% that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes I get in that complacency and thinking I was doing 100%, but I really wasn't. I was pulling back 75. Not cool, but
I can very much relate to that.
Yeah, and most can, right? Because you said, hey, the ones that go that excel are the ones that do 100% 100 of the time.
Yeah.
100% of the time. That's very tough to do.
Yeah,
very tough to do. It takes focus,
Yeah.
it takes grit, it takes heart, it takes guts. And what was he say about 100% of the time? What was he say? Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Well, I'll swoop in and say, like that's even today. I mean, one of the things that I think once I'm behind a camera, I'm going to give it 100% no matter what. But it's the other stuff, when it gets to the stuff that I don't necessarily want to do, like promoting my own business or even posting on social, like something like that, that's something I have to really kind of force myself to do. Not that I don't like social media,
Really,
but it's just a part. It's just a thing that, because I think to myself, do people really care if I'm at Silver Knights again, or do people really care I'm at Golden Knights again? They just saw that I'm a Golden, whatever, or I'm at Aces again. Like, do people really care? And it's like, it doesn't matter. Post it anyway.
I'll tell you what.
Don't worry about it.
That's when I really became a fan of yours. Is when I saw those posts.
Well, I love that, man.
Because you're sharing what you do, and who gives a shit what people think?
Yeah.
Right? If they don't like it, then don't follow you.
Right.
Right? And that goes for all you Instagram posters out there.
Yeah.
Do it for you. Do it for what you care about, and don't worry about what people think about it. And that's tough to do these days because you have a lot of criticism. If you rise up, say you get 10,000 followers, whatever, you get more followers, you're going to have more criticism. The higher you rank up and people following you or noticeability, you're going to have people, like I know when I do a VGK game, I know that people are going to start texting Bruce. Who's this guy? Oh, where are you going to be here? It's not you. Yeah. And the same thing when he comes and does, and he's VGK and he comes over to HSK. I don't get texts, but I know people are like, oh, I wish you were back. I'm like, yeah, because you're used to me. You're used to certain people. But just when I go there, I have to learn to do it because I freak out when I go there. I hate it. I shouldn't say I hate it. I hate the feeling I have before it because I'm like, I don't want to be like him. But I have to be like him.
You're filling the shoes of someone who people are constantly there and they're expecting him.
And he's great at what he does.
And that is uncomfortable. It's completely uncomfortable. I totally get that.
I'm asking him, do I say Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to because that's what they're used to. I'm
that's
like,
his thing.
My God. And I can't do what he does.
Right.
So I don't want to disrespect him. I want to do well for him and the team and the production. But at the same time, in my head, I'm going, "Oh my God, this is crazy! What are they going to think about me?" And here I'm telling you, don't give give two shits. So now, after I think I've done 5 games there, the next one I do, I'm just going to give my all, and not give a shit about what people think, knowing that there's going to be criticism.
Yeah, man, and I think this is the thing. This is the real reality of it. It's like we're always going to be aware at least. Or have those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts of like, oh, maybe someone will think this, maybe someone will think that. It's powering through that. Yeah, is the thing that you have to be able to do, and you may listen. Even just doing something like this podcast, sometimes I say stuff that maybe is personal, or just being on camera as much as I am for this is way more than I prefer. Because it's like, what if I don't feel like I look good one day, or I haven't had a fresh haircut this week, or like that stuff. It's like, or am I just coming off like an idiot or whatever? All that stuff is stuff that I think about.
Fresh lid, by the way. Looks good. It looks good.
Thank you.
You don't have to worry about it.
Thank you, brother.
Fly
it's
lid.
like, you got to power through that. You
Absolutely.
have to power through that, and in that sense, say to yourself, hey, all right. Yeah, am I presenting myself in the most perfectly curated way that I absolutely want every aspect of my? Maybe not, but it's like it's fine. Most people are not even paying attention to that.
They're not, and you think they are. Here's some powering through. It doesn't come natural. It may come natural for some,
right,
but it doesn't come natural. It's like a muscle. So we lift weights when we do lift or whatever we do. Or run to get stronger. You do something on a consistent basis to get stronger. Yeah. If you have more of those power through moments, it builds your power through muscle.
Yes.
Right. And your intention and your mind and heart and soul to where you want to go, and that will help you power through more by doing it more. Yeah. You can't just say power through. Come on, dude. You guys just got to power through it. Like, how?
It's like how? Yeah. If you haven't yet, if you don't have if you haven't practiced, you haven't tried it, and you don't know what it feels like to do it, then it takes time, it takes practice, and absolutely, I totally agree. And that is a great example, like that, the whole going in there and doing and getting in there, filling in for Bruce. That's a big one because
big
it's
shoes,
like,
man.
It not only is it big shoes, but it's very specific performance. So it's like how I totally get the like walking the line of how do I do this my way, but also still give people what they're expecting out of the show.
Yeah.
How much of that is Bruce and how much of that is the show? Like that's kind of fine line to walk.
Very
there.
fine line. And even after the very first one I did, Tyler Kofer, who's not with us anymore, he's with the Seattle Seahawks. He was the show caller, and he goes, "Hey Matt, the second one, because I had 2 games, I had one on a Saturday, then one on Tuesday. Hey, go to the video room up there, the production room." He goes, "They're gonna play you the video so you can kind of say, you know how it goes,
Nighttime.
yeah, nighttime.
Okay.
That, then the power play, and I had they kind of taught me with the videos how long I needed to draw it out because I was so nervous. I just wanted to get it out, and I didn't realize that I had to do it in a certain
fill up a certain amount of time
with the videos going on.
Yeah.
So there's all these little innuendos that I didn't know, and at least I had good coaching and I have a great team that I'm part of. So they helped me along with it. They didn't just ignore it and say, "Oh, I'll try better next time." They made me go up to the video room, watch vid, kind of say it in my mind with it, and so I could kind of feel that cadence.
Yeah, man. That's the nice thing about working at Foley too is they're not gonna set you up to fail. You know, they want you to do well.
Yeah.
They want you to do well. They want the show to be good. You want the show to be good. Everybody, you know, and in that you typically will get a good show. So,
Yeah.
you know, you got professionals that know what they're doing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's why it's such a well lauded and an awarded team. You know,
Happy to be a part of it,
Hell
man.
yeah,
This
man.
is all of
Same
us.
here.
This is all of us doing it.
same here, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you? So now, on the other hand of that question, do you have a career highlight that you'd like to share? It doesn't have to be the highlight; could be just a highlight, but.
I mean, we're talking about married and having a kid is my career. That's like the 2 best days I can think of that have elevated just me as a person, and I was sitting in the pocket of happiness. But career, like job highlight wise,
First of all, that's a very beautiful thing you just said there. That's no one has said it quite like that yet, and that's. That's really cool, man. I love to hear that.
Thanks, man. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It was a miracle little baby. She was, it changed my life as far as things I'm doing. And obviously we can't do as much as we used to as a couple.
Yeah.
We do as a family now. So, you know, I know parents would say that too, but yeah, I wanted it for a long time. We've wanted a kiddo for a long time. And now I have a little diva at 5.
That's great, man. I love that.
She's
that's
great.
Awesome.
Career highlight, there's been a lot of them. I really don't know. I really don't have a career highlight. Everything's been strung together to get where I am, and still wanting to get more. And you know, I don't know. I can't really say there's a. I mean, I was super excited to get the audition.
Yeah.
You know, and make it for HSK. That was huge. If we're talking about this, that's a career highlight. When they said, "Hey, okay," after we made to the finals, and I had the second preseason game. The lady had a first preseason game.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with ladies doing it. I get it. But there was a story about that. I'll share that. It's just I'm like, oh no, here we go again, because the push a lot is to have ladies in sports, which I get because you get a different. Yeah, they're doing it for aces now, right?
Inclusion. I'm all for inclusion. I don't consider that to be a bad thing. I don't consider that to be an agenda thing. I think no matter what the motivation is, if inclusion is the trend of the day, I'm all for that shit, man.
Totally get
I have
that.
no problem with that.
If they fit the part.
And I mean that. I'm not just saying that because this is going on the internet. I fucking really mean that. Inclusion is a beautiful thing, and I think it's important. I
totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And they're doing that more with all sports.
Yeah.
And it was 1994. I tried out for the San Francisco Giants PA announcer. I was living in LA at the time. And
no, wait, so quick question.
Yeah.
When you said Giants, was that the Giants you were talking about, or are you talking about New York Giants? When
San
you said that's
Francisco.
your team.
San Francisco.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
San Francisco Giants baseball at Candlestick Park.
Okay.
And there was a PA tryout, open tryouts. I was number 229 out of 550 people. and got my number. I sat there for 2.5 hours. Listened to great people, funny people. This one guy goes up there and goes, "Welcome to the Cuckoo's Nest," and they pulled his ass out right away. You had all kinds of people. I'll never forget that day.
Wow.
And my mind was going crazy. What do they want to hear? What do I do?
Yeah.
And I finally, this is actually one of those moments that it was a kind of an epitome, whatever you want, just this aha moment for me. I'm like, you know what? You're here because your friends asked you to come here because you're always joking around like you're a PA guy. Just do that. Be yourself and have fun. And if they don't like it, too bad.
Yeah.
For that moment really changed me going forward in acting and everything. I did that. I went up there. I got top 10. They call me in LA. Hey, this is so-and-so from KMBR 68, the sports leader. I'm like, this is my friends jerking with me right now.
Yeah.
They're because we didn't have caller ID back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're serious. And they're like, yay, congratulations. We're going to call you tomorrow. You can introduce the Rush Limbaugh show. I was like, oh, shit.
How exciting.
Yeah. And I told my boss, I'm like, hey, man, can you fly me up with all your Southwest? I don't have any money. It's like, he's a Giants fan, too. Marcel, bless his heart. And he flew me back up because he's a Bay Area guy, too, Giants fan. I went up there thinking, I'm 23 years old. This is going to be sick.
Hell yeah.
I went up there. All the cameras were on this lady. I'm like, oh, I get it. But, then I heard her. Unfortunately, she wasn't good.
She wasn't hitting.
She wasn't where. And myself and this other guy was a teacher. We were about the same age, young, 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
We were number one, number two. We were like, whoa. But all the cameras were on her. Then they did choose her. Nothing on her part, not her fault. It was the Giants organization trying to push.
Yeah.
It was trying to push an agenda at that time.
Yeah.
They just recently let go of Renelle in the morning. She's got swag. She was a girl we grew up with in the Bay Area. Yeah. She was dope, legit dope. This other girl that tried out though wasn't there. So my heart was hurt. Like, oh man, this is how the world's going now. It's changing. Yeah. They're just, they put a lady in. Again, nothing against ladies. They're awesome in the right positions and the right job. Yeah. But she just wasn't the right part. So we all lost out on that one, unfortunately. Yeah. But it gained a lot of charisma, and in me, I just back up again. Like, you can do this. It's not your fault. It's the right place, the right time. It's got to be the right place, right time, right people. Yeah. I took that to the Silver Knights. Right place, right time, right people. My headshot, I gave them with my family. I gave it with me and my wife and my daughter. That's me. Nice. I live in Henderson. I'm a family dude, and I just gave it my own. I went there with.
They must have loved that too.
I don't know.
It's a family show, man. Family show. We don't fuck around in there. Like I mean, this is Golden Knights and Silver Knights. If I got my camera on someone and they take the shot, and a guy starts to take his shirt off or something like that, it's like, I move my camera away, they cut away, it's we love to put the show on for kids, for young people, for families, so families can feel like they can go and enjoy themselves. Right. So I'm sure they must have loved that you were a family guy from Henderson. I mean, you're the exact person they want in there,
Yeah, I was fishing around for it. I was fishing around for a headshot. Like, I don't have one from the acting all days and all that stuff. You know what? Here's a family shot. This is me now. This is who I am. Yeah. And if it doesn't fit, bummer. If I make it, cool. Yeah. That was that came all the way back from 1994 when that Giants epitome happened, where I said, be yourself. And if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Yeah. Of course you want it to be, but the best thing you can be is yourself. Yeah. 100%. 100% yourself. And don't try to be other people or what you think people want you to be. I was doing that in the acting world too. They made me like this. And as soon as that hit, I went back and I started hitting jobs on auditions for acting like that. So I was myself in the character that they needed instead of trying to just do this character. It just, I don't know, something happened inside me that said just be 100% yourself in what you do. And if it's not the right time, right place, right people, it's not meant to be. They all have to align.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. That's it, man. That's it right there.
Bam.
Okay. I got one more for you, brother.
Bring it on.
All right. So for young people who want to work in entertainment, live entertainment, for a team that has created the best in-house production across all sports, what would you say to them?
Hey, there's a trial coming up pretty soon. But Yeah, you can send in your resume. Seriously, we're looking for an arena host right now.
Yeah.
For those that aspire to do so, I was just meeting with a broadcast team at Desert Pines High School. Be present. If you want it, you've got to be present. No one's going to know you unless you're shaking hands or saying hi or writing emails. No one's going to know who you are. So you have to be present. You have to have a little bit of forwardness, and it may be uncomfortable for some people, but they're not going to know who you are unless you're present, unless you reach out an extended hand. Ask for an internship, because especially when you're young, ask for an internship, because an internship will get you in there, and it'll also, you're going to be sometimes thrown right into the fire. Do you like it or do you not like it? Over time, that will definitely be one of those things that will make or break you. And I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean, is this really right for me? Do I really want to do this?
Reveal the reality of the situation to you. Yeah, that's important.
In vivo, man, right in person, yo.
Yeah.
and then, when you're there, 100%, like we talked about. What can you do to improve? Give ideas. Your ideas do matter. Even if you're young, your ideas do matter. People that we see that are coming in with ideas and suggesting things, we love that, because that's ambition. That's trying to take some passion into the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
If you can bring forth some ideas instead of just sitting back and just kind of waiting for things to happen, existing, it's not going to get you too far. You've got to press the gas pedal a little bit, and that's by being present, by asking questions, and by bringing forth your energy and your ideas.
That's great advice, man. I love that. That's great advice. That's so true, and no one has said that yet on this show. It is like there's most people will say it's mindset stuff or motivational stuff, like inward stuff, and that's all very important too. But I mean, in order to make yourself seen in the industry, you need to be in it. You gotta be present. Somehow get your foot in there. Even work, work in adjacent to a career that you want. If you're in the building somewhere that then you can make your way to what it is that you really want to do.
Well, absolutely. Here's an example. Okay, I'm a student. I want to be the PA guy eventually. Yeah. I want to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into now that I have more wisdom, I would go to a game. Mm-hmm. I would ask an usher, hey, do you know how I want to be, like, who's in charge of the PA stuff? And I don't know. Keep asking. Mm-hmm. Ask around. Go to the ticketing. Ask them until you find the people. The reason why? If you say why, because I'm interested in just learning about it and becoming something.
Yeah.
With that, or utilizing the PA, I'm very interested in it. They can't say no to you being ambitious about that.
I totally agree. If someone asked 20 people to ask 20 other people and eventually made it to me from, I'd be impressed by that, of course.
Well,
who wouldn't?
I just saw the video department. If video department at Desert Pines High School came to you and said, hey, can we hang out with you for a little while and white balance? And,
I would totally do that.
Because they're asking, they're present.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get these kids to do. I'm trying to make a match with these kids, not just at Desert Pines, but other schools that have video production and broadcast and radio. I'm trying to help make a match with VGK, HSK, and those guys, so they have a little in love and connection, and see if they really want to go forth with it, or they can utilize their skills. They may be great at what they do, and they don't even know it yet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're 100% right. I love that. Sir.
So be ambitious. Yeah, go for it. That's what I would walk you. I would walk you to an arena if you can't make any connections or you don't have the email, you can't find it. There's the gatekeepers won't let you there. Go yourself.
Yeah.
That's go yourself and just start asking around. It takes guts, especially if you're not an extrovert or a people person. You're kind of introvert a little bit. Well, you have to be a people person if you're going to be on the mic a little bit.
That's true.
But ask questions, ask around until you get to that, and don't stop until you get to the connections that you need to. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah, man. Matt, thank you so much for coming.
Dude,
could you please share your socials, or if there's anything that you're working on that you want to share, that you want people to check out?
Sure. It's DJ Mikhail at DJ Mikhail on Instagram, Twitter, mainly on Instagram a lot, but mainly just family shots right now, and I'll do HSK because that's pretty much my life, and that's pretty much it. That's all. At DJ, then MAKAIO.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it, man.
This was a good one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take a shot with you over here, too. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Good questions, man. That was fun.